Welcome to Smart Economics. Here are your top business and startup news. Alibaba plans $5 billion bond this month amid regulatory scrutiny, said report. China's Alibaba Group Holding Limited plans to raise at least $5 billion through the sale of a US-denominated bond this month. Four people with knowledge of the matter said amid regulatory scrutiny of co-founder Jack Ma's empire, depending on investor response, proceeds could reach $8 billion, which the e-commerce leader is likely to use for general corporate expenditure, one of the people said. Bitcoin breaks above $35,000 to touch new high. Bitcoin traded above $35,000 for the first time in Asia on Wednesday, rising to a high of $35,879 and extending a rally that has seen the digital currency rise more than 800% since mid-March. The world's most popular cryptocurrency crossed $20,000 for the first time ever on December 16. The best-known cryptocurrency has had an epic year. It crashed over 50% from its February 2020 highs as COVID-19 lockdown fear tanked all but the safest assets. Yet, following a trajectory echoing that of electric vehicle powerhouse Tesla and at-home exercise firm Peloton Interactive, Bitcoin's value skyrocketed around 300% for the year. Amazon pledges billions for affordable homes in US. Amazon has become the largest US tech giant to pledge billions of dollars to support affordable housing. The e-commerce giant said it was starting a fund of more than $2 billion aimed at creating a preserving 20,000 homes across 3 regions in the US. The money will be used primarily to support low-cost loans for moderate-income families, it said. The effort follows years of rising home and rental prices in the US. Home prices have climbed more than 6% each year since 2012, despite muted wage growth for most workers. Before the pandemic, rental rates has also risen steadily, driving a shortage of affordable units. Indian B2B e-commerce startup Uran raises $280 million. Business-to-business marketplace Uran has raised $280 million from new and existing investors as the Indian startup builds a war chest to accelerate its growth and fend off rivals. The new capital is not part of a new financing round, but is an extension of its Series D. The Bangalore-based startup, which secured $585 million prior to the new capital as part of its Series D round, and has overall raised $1.15 billion to date, is now valued at more than $3.1 billion, a source familiar with the matter told TechCrunch. Neil Young sells song rights in $150 million deal. An investment firm has bought 50% of the rights to all Neil Young songs. Funds spent an estimated $150 million on 1,180 songs written by the Canadian folk rocker. The fund, which lets people invest in hit songs, has previously splashed out about €1 billion, snapping up rights to songs from likes of Mark Ronson, Chick, Barry Manilow and Blondie. Founded by music industry veteran Mercurides, Hypnosis turns music royalties into an income stream. Apple App Store customers spent $1.8 billion over the week of Christmas, set a spending record of New Year's Day. Apple this morning offered an updated look at its App Store business with the release of its holiday sales figures. The company said App Store customers spent $1.8 billion in apps during the week of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, driven largely by games. And App Store customers also hit a new single-day spending record on New Year's Day of over $540 million. What Apple didn't fully spell out was to what extent the pandemic played a role in increased app spending over the course of 2020. It did again note that top apps during the year had included those that helped customers stay connected and be entertained, like Zoom and Disney+, as well as games that brought people together like Roblox and Among Us. Take Nvidia's $40 billion ARM acquisitions to be investigated by UK competition regulator. The UK's competition watchdog, the Competition and Markets Authority, announced Wednesday that it plans to investigate Nvidia's proposed acquisition of British chip designer ARM. Nvidia announced plans to buy the Cambridge-headquartered company from SoftBank for $40 billion last September, and critics have been calling on governments and regulators to probe the deal ever since. The CMA said it is inviting third parties to provide their opinion on how the deal will impact competition in the UK before launching a formal investigation later this year. Perfect Corporation, developer of virtual beauty app YouCam Makeup, closes $50 million Series C led by Goldman Sachs. Spending on cosmetics has usually weathered economic crises, but that changed during the COVID-19 pandemic, with stay-at-home orders and masks tempering people's desire to wear makeup. This forced retailers to accelerate their online strategies, finding new ways to capture shoppers' attention without in-store samples. Virtual beauty try-on technology, like the ones developed by Perfect Corporation, will play an important role in the shift to digital. The company announced today it had raised a Series C of $50 million led by Goldman Sachs. SoftbankBacked Improbable Cs pretax losses rise to $88.5 million on its quest to develop virtual worlds. SoftbankBacked Improbable on Wednesday posted a pre-tax loss of €64.8 million for the 7 months leading up to December 31, 2019. According to a filing on UK Company Registered Companies House, it's a sharp rise on the €39 million pre-tax loss reported in the year leading up to May 31, 2019. The London firm, one of SoftBank's biggest bets in Britain, is aiming to develop large-scale computer simulations and synthetic environments that have applications in gaming and defense. Its core technology platform or main product is known as Spatial OS. Bitcoin's rise, a digital gold could lift price to $146,000 to $146,000, JP Morgan. Digital currency Bitcoin has emerged as a rival to gold and could trade as high as $146,000 if it becomes established as a safe haven asset, investment bank JP Morgan said on Tuesday. Interest in the world's biggest cryptocurrency has soared this year, with investors viewing Bitcoin as holding against inflation and an alternative to the depreciating dollar. The rush led to Bitcoin prices more than tripling in the past 6 months to a record peak of $35,000 on January 2. Bitcoin's competition with gold has already started in our mind, the Wall Street Bank strategist said in a note, citing recent $7 billion outflows from gold and more than $3 billion of inflows in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Facebook drops likes button from public pages. Facebook Inc. has dropped the likes button from its redesigned public pages used by artists, public figures, and brands. The social media company said on Wednesday, Facebook pages will only show followers and have a dedicated news feed, where users can join conversations, interact with peers, and engage with fans, the company said in a blog post. Centibio raises $105 million for its new programmable biology platform and cancer therapies. Centibio, a company developing cancer therapies using a new programmable biology platform, said it has raised $105 million in a new round of financing led by the venture arm of life sciences giant Bayer. The company's technology uses new computational biological techniques to manufacture cell and gene therapies that can more precisely target specific cells in the body. Atlanta's sales Loft raises $100 million for its digital sales platform, now valued at $1.1 billion. The COVID-19 pandemic and especially need for social distancing to slow the spread of the virus have continued to keep many of us away from the office. Now, increasingly many organizations and people believe that it could usher in a more permanent shift to remote, distributed and virtual work. Today, a startup that has built a set of tools specifically to help salespeople with that change by way of digital sales has raised a substantial growth round to meet that demand. Loft, a sales platform based out of Atlanta, Georgia, that provides AI-based tools to help salespeople run their sales process virtually, from finding and following up on leads through to helping them sell with virtual coaching tools and then assisting in the post-sale process, has closed $100 million in funding. That's it into this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for daily business and startup news.